I believe we are live. Yay! Hi, everybody. We are live. Hopefully the audience can hear us. We've had that issue before, so hopefully that works out. And hi, this is the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of Gameschooling. And I hope there's some people out in our audience, but today we're very, very happy and lucky to be joined by Jim Moran, the game designer of Election Night.
Hi.
Jim, thanks so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Jim and I have known each other for a while now. I don't know when we first met, a couple years ago or a year or so ago, when you were working on designing this game. So it's really nice tonight to be able to play it on our Twitch feed. I think we started about a month ago. Every Wednesday night, we've been doing kind of a special highlight on using games in education. And I thought that this was a great one. We've been generally talking about math or history or language or something like that. And we've been talking about a lot of different games on one night, but I thought this would be a great one to have our first guest and to really just focus on this game for the whole time. We're gonna learn how to play, we're gonna play it a little bit, and I'd love to hear a little bit about the process that went into designing it and how you think, I know you've done this a lot with schools, and kind of what your experience has been with using this game in a school setting and also for education.
Right.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you came up with the idea with the game?
Yeah, so I've been kind of a lifelong gamer, but later in life, after I did a career in the Coast Guard, I was doing a lot of tutoring on the side, and then I've got into SAT and ACT tutoring. And I noticed that there was not a lot of math fact retention. And by math fact, I mean like knowing your times tables or being fluent in your addition facts. Like, so when you would ask someone like, well, what's 2 + 2? They would know that. But when you ask them like what 8 + 5 is, they might get it wrong, or they might not really know it. And then when you got to the multiplication tables, it got a little worse. I started before I did Election Night. I created the dice system, which is called the PlaySmart dice system. And basically, I just took dodecahedrons and I put different numbers on them that would emphasize combinations that were associated with harder to learn sums and products. You know, when you roll 2 regular dice cubes, 1 through 6, what I call ordinal dice, 55.6% of the time, one of the faces is going to have a 1 or a 2 on it. And that's not something that you need to, that's not the part of the flashcard deck, so to speak, that kids have trouble with learning or adults have trouble retaining. So I got rid of 1s and 2s. I created combinations of dice that can de-emphasize 9s and 3s. And then I created multi-dice that have multi-colors there. That's the 7 face up that you have there that have no 5s. So because kids learn their 5 tables sooner. So I set out to make like an RPG with this dice system, RPG like for my daughters. But before I did that, I started throwing some other stuff on the wall, and I came up with a scheme to do a electoral college game where you'd run for president and you'd kind of have this cross-curriculum learning where you'd be learning all your essential math facts while you were indexing geography, like a US state geography, while you learned the actual mechanics of the electoral college. And it turns out that the electoral college is kind of hard to explain to a kid or even an adult, but when you play it, you get it. And I think the thing that a lot of like election games do that is kind of a mistake. Sometimes they want to get too political. So I didn't want to make the game political. I mean, we do have a red side and a blue side, but a lot of people that play it don't really let the game co-opt their colors. But no other politics really enter into it other than it assumes that there's 2 people running against each other. So maybe it's a kind of a tacit endorsement of a 2-party system, but that's the way we made it. And then we made the real electoral college. I think that some of the political games, they try to make an abstraction of the Electoral College so you don't end up learning how the Electoral College, like the mechanics of it, work. So we made an abstraction of the voting and the politics, and we just we use the dice pools to do that. So election night comes with a set of 6 dice, which is the PlaySmart dice system. There's what we call the Blue Mean 11 dice, which are numbered 3 through 9.
Are those the red ones here?
What's that?
Oh, the blue ones.
The blue ones are numbered 3 through 8 twice. The red ones are numbered 4 through 9 twice. And then the multicolored ones are numbered 3 through 9 with no 5s. So election night has 2 basic game versions. The blue side of the board is what you're looking at right now. That's the addition game. And on the reverse side is the multiplication game. So when you play the addition game, it should play in about 30, 35 minutes. And if someone can play it that quickly, they pretty much know their flashcard addition. And you never have to use terrible memory aids that like flashcards. You can have like these kind of associations with math facts that you're going to remember for maybe a lifetime. And then you can flip over the board and you can learn all of your hard multiplication tables. And what we did there is we took the data from learning apps, which show us through millions of people using multiplication learning apps, which products the kids get wrong the most. Turns out like 8 times 6 is the most difficult product, or the one that they get wrong the most. So I assign that to the most. I assign the 8 and 6 combination in the dice pool to California, has the most value. And then I take 8 times 7 and assign it to Texas. And the idea is there, I tell people that, you know, you never had to teach anyone who ever played Monopoly that Boardwalk is blue, and in the original version it was $400. But people might not have played Monopoly for 40 years and they'll still remember that. So that's all we really tried to do. And then we kind of like from the game schooling aspect of it, you know, you can have this game, you can grow with this game, you can learn all your math facts, you can learn where the state geographies are, and you can actually kind of learn where the most populated states are and a population distribution of the United States, and then really how the mechanics of the Electoral College work in a non-political way. Because like in this game, it's all just dice pools that you have to assign to certain states. So like, you know, there's no advantage for being the blue team and you know, having an advantage in California, or the red team and having an advantage you know, say in Texas, like some people might think in real life. We figure that people will learn that on their own in real life, and we'll just teach them the mechanics of it in a fun game. It's kind of like dice pools, calculation. There's like aspects of area control on it because states are not won on one roll necessarily. Some states you can win on one roll, but some states you have to work for a longer term objectives, and you have to make trade-offs. Do you want to take, you know, a quick victory in a smaller numbered electoral valued state, or do you want to take a longer term objective and like apply some of your products or sums to a state like California or Texas? And we looked at the math and tried to balance the numbers so that, for instance, in the multiplication version, if you're really targeting California, it makes it harder to target Texas as well. So there's this kind of natural balancing going on, and it usually makes for a tight game at the end if you're not making, you know, horrible choices. So it's a pretty good, there's a little bit, there's strategy, there's luck, and there's a lot of cross-domain, kind of cross-curricular learning that really gets sticky in the brain after you play just a few times. I know with my kids and people I know, after a little rudimentary studying of multiplication tables, after about 3 times when you play the multiplication version of the game, now that takes a little longer than the version we're going to play tonight, which is the addition game, kids end up learning or memorizing their times tables in as little as 3 games. So for a 3-hour investment, you know, you might be able to remember, like my oldest daughter says, 8 times 7 is easy. It's Texas, it's 56. And that's kind of what we're looking for. But if you make it a fun game, the learning and the memory, long-term memory becomes effortless. So I
Yeah,
think you
maybe I
want
need to play the multiplication game because I have a really hard time with 8 times 7. 8 times 6, I'm really good at.
yeah,
I can do all my 6s really well, but my 7s and 8s are really not very
yeah.
good. I think I was out of school that week and never
Uh-huh.
really learned.
Well, I mean, it turns out they don't have real meaning for anything in life. And I put a little the published data on the inside of the second edition game box where you can
Oh,
see
yeah.
kind of the heat map of what are the hardest to learn multiplication tables. And I also showed for the addition, yeah, so that kind of heat map shows, and then the bar graph on the left there shows the number of electoral votes we signed to like the 8 tables, the 7 tables, the 6 tables, followed by the 9s, the 4s, the 3s, and the 5s. And then we even have a version where you can play with 12 tables. And then the kind of bell curve graph up above that shows like the red distribution is, basic cube dice. That's their distribution. But when you're talking about addition, the numbers that really give the single digit sums that give people the hardest time are between 7 and 17. So our dice system for the addition game works with sums between 7 and 17. And those are that's that hard part of the flashcard deck that you don't like have to, that you work on and kind of struggle with. So yeah, that kind of shows up our learning science. But most of the time kids aren't, it takes people a few, rolls to realize, wait a minute, these dice aren't, the same. But you do have to keep track of these dice in this game because you use 4 dice in the addition game, the 2 reds and 2 blues, the mean 11 and the mean 13 dice. And then in the multiplication game, you use the 2 multi-dice and 1 blue and 1 red. And that keeps the game flow going, producing results at a good clip. And we also have strategy cards for the multiplication game that you can use in the addition game. There are small decks of cards that give you opportunity to re-roll, or for a limited number of number cards where you could change like a number that was showing 5, you could change it to a 7 if you wanted to, if you played that card. So it adds another layer of strategy and keeps the game flow going quickly too. So
Are those kind of like an expansion to it, or do those come in the game? They're in the game?
yeah, they're in the game.
I haven't
Yeah,
ever played with the strategy cards.
Yeah, you need them for the multiplication game, but they're optional for the addition game. What happens in the addition game when you don't use the strategy cards is it does get kind of like you're really trying to hit your sum at the end, to hit like North Dakota or something. The strategy cards quicken it up a bit, and they also get you doing like pre-algebraic thinking, because they like, well, what would happen if I substitute a 7 for that face? And then you can play each card just once, and you don't want to hold on to your cards too long, but you might want to play them when you really have the player at a disadvantage, or when there's an opportunity to take a big state like California or Texas. You might want to use your reroll 2 times card just to take a chance, and that's each player gets 1 deck to use at any time during the game. So but you can bring those in after. We suggest playing the first time out of the box the addition version with no cards. It takes a little longer, but one of the strategic kind of incentives that we want to push here is that kids are like crunching those math numbers, right? So while they're running for president. So
cool. Well, thanks for the explanation. I think that from a game schooling perspective, this is possibly one of the best educational or examples of a game schooling game that I can possibly think about. As you said, it has a lot of cross curriculum. I know when we were playing earlier today, Melissa was having a hard time finding some of her states.
Yes.
And
Kansas.
She went back. She had a hard time finding Kansas.
Kansas is
but
hard.
she went back and saw that it was green, and we easily found Kansas. So it definitely has geography. It is teaching you the abbreviations for the states. It is teaching you a lot about fractions, because you have to know when you're going to win the state based on the fraction of the way you've divided up the states for the electoral votes or the electoral college. It's a really fantastic game. I would say it's probably slightly on the more educational side than some of the games that we've talked about before. But one of the things that I think, and we're going to get into playing it in just a second, is that it's still a really fun game. Like, it's
we have
fun.
a good time.
We were joking a lot about Red won California in the earlier game, and that was pretty funny. We're going to try and stay apolitical tonight and not discuss any politics. I know it's
They're just colors today.
they're just colors.
Right.
It's a very stressful time for a lot of people.
You can play with
But I
any
did
color
wanna
dry
show
erase
you
marker
this
you
because-
want.
Huh?
You can play with any dry erase marker you want.
I think that especially now, this election season has been very stressful for a lot of people, especially in our neighborhood. If you are not local to Labyrinth Games and Puzzles, we are in the heart of Washington, D.C. So the next month is really, really stressful to a lot of our customers. But it's also, I remember when my son was in kindergarten, it was right after, I believe, Obama got elected, and all of the kids on the playground were talking about how many electoral votes each candidate won. And I said, only on Capitol Hill do you have kindergartners talking about electoral votes. But I think that this is a fantastic time to get kids involved with it so that they understand what they're hearing and what they're seeing. So
They'll
that's
understand
kind
it
of why
better
I
than
wanted to
adults.
action on.
Yeah, and if they play this a couple times, they might understand it better than a lot of adults.
I would think. But okay, so we decided today, well, I didn't decide. Melissa and Rich decided that it was going to be Team Staff versus Team Kathleen. Jim, I don't know if you've seen any of our Thursday game night board game nights, but we've been having this ongoing battle of Team Staff versus Team Kathleen. So they decided we had to keep it going for tonight.
Very good.
But I tend to be really loud and cheering, and they decided I had to be blue so that at least I'm cheering for the blue team, even though this is completely non-political and it's just colors. Okay, and we'll see who wins California. Okay, so who's going first? Should we roll the dice?
youngest player gets to the youngest player gets to either, and this is where we just put this in there. The youngest in the game gets to choose color or who goes first. So you know, if
you can go first.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
very kind of you, Kathleen.
Okay. So the youngest player is going first. Now
so you roll all 4 dice.
Okay, so the way we play this game, Jim, tell them how to play.
So you roll all 4 dice and you create a dice pool. And in that pool, you'll have 3 possible sums. So you could take, as I see you have a 9 and a 4 there, you could take a 13 and you could place that over by Texas, for instance, the Texas group. And then you could take the 7, that's a 7 and a what? I can't quite say.
7 and a 7, so 14.
So 14, yeah. So you could take a state from the 14. Now you only have 2 options here because you rolled a double. So you could do 7 plus 4 and 7 plus 9. Or you could take that, sum what you do. But you, with 4 different results, you'd have 3 choices. But that's a pretty good start because that gets you into Texas, right? You figured that out. So what happens is you index the numbers that are on the margins of the state groups. You pick a sum that the dice produce, and you take a state from in that, and they're listed from like highest electoral value to lowest in the group. But a state like Florida here in the 14 group, that has 29 electoral votes, but you have to get 3 rolls to get Florida. You could actually see how you get the majority of the area of the Pentagon. With that roll, you get to color in 1 triangle on the Pentagon. But now if you go back to that 14 group there, you see it. You could actually just look at West Virginia for 5. That's a circle state, and that's blue right there. If you colored it, you could take that right now and just get 1 whole state, 5 electoral votes. You could take the bird in the hand. And that kind of decision making comes in play later in the game as the dynamic nature of the choices that the players make fill in, because sometimes, like a real candidate in a real race, you have to give up on certain states and apply your resources somewhere else.
Well, I think that these roles are going to let team staff get their ground game going in Texas and Florida.
Nice.
I'm not sure I like that at all. Okay, Team Kathleen, ow, is gonna roll now. Can I have that?
I don't know.
You don't know. Man, it's getting ugly already in here. Okay, so, oops.
This kind of roll off the table.
Okay. All right, so I have 2 8s, a 7, and a 6. So I could either do 14 and 15 or 16 and 13.
You could challenge him in Texas.
I could.
Don't mess with Texas.
Don't mess with Texas. Let's see. So if I did 13, that would be Texas. Or I could do 14 and go into Florida. And
Don't lean on
15.
us,
15,
Could get you into Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Hey,
Uh,
you can't have any of them.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's a good one. Pick
Mhm.
Wisconsin.
Where is Wisconsin? Oh, I know where
Oh.
I know where Wisconsin is. I know where it is. Wisconsin needs 3. I think that I am going to do 13 and I'm going to go into Texas
No.
because the blue wave is coming to Texas. And then I'm going to take 16 and I'm going to take Louisiana because it's a circle state.
Yeah.
And I get 8 electoral votes right now. So I'm
Now
going to
that,
throw her in.
and what a mathematician might tell you too there is at a very young age, you can teach a kid the mathematical concept of utility value in this game, where they really have to consider probability of outcome. And like you realize that one roll, 8 electoral votes is really worth it because you kind of have this innate, sense of utility value. But that's really powerful for kids to see, like to make those trade-offs. And then they try to figure out what's the probability that they're going to get something on a re-roll, and we play more advanced versions with cards. It's really good. So
I have an
utility value
innate
may be the
ability.
most
Did you hear him
practical
tell me
math
how
skill
innate
you
my
learn in
ability is?
Yes, yes.
Thanks, Jim. I have an innate ability.
life.
Okay, so what are y'all gonna do? So
Six,
they
six.
have
9 and 4. So we could do 12.
Mhm.
We could do 15.
Could do 15.
15 would get us Pennsylvania. We could do 13 and get another Texas. I like that.
Ooh,
Let's do that. Do you like that?
I like that.
All right.
13 and 12. Oh, the fight is starting in
Yeah.
Texas. It's 1 for 1 in
What do you
Texas. It's
Well,
ugly.
and it's kind of like the real electoral battle because when
Yeah, we
when
do.
someone moves out of a state or they
They're
give
gonna
up
go
in a
first
state,
one
they
thing.
might not. You could get a prohibitive lead in Texas and like kind of freeze it and wait until that person forces you to win it. Just like in a real electoral battle.
All the gray ones.
I feel like giving up
Mississippi.
California without a fight is a bad idea. Can
Yeah.
you win the game without California?
I have won the game. I won the game at a demo at your place, losing Texas and California. It was pretty. It's probably less than 2% that you can do it, but I did it. So
Well, that's cool.
What do you think, California?
Yeah.
it's extremely hard to do.
We'll go all in.
Okay, they're going for California. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Okay.
This will be fine. This is fine.
Uh-oh. Okay, I need to get a Texas and a California too. Or maybe I just try and go all okay, so I have an 8, a 5, and a 3. So
So you can take you got your utility value. If you look at Colorado
know.
up there,
Colorado is pretty sweet for
Yeah.
9 electoral votes for nothing. And then I'd have a 13, which would give
Texas.
me another one in Texas. I
Yeah.
like that. I think
That
I'm
is a
gonna
good
do that.
combo.
No.
I'm gonna do Colorado.
No.
Colorado is, they're all out there.
And you just picked 2 states that are going to mess up my game version for the next 10 years. So we got to come up with another 3rd edition because Texas is going to gain electoral votes and Colorado is going to gain 1. Colorado in 2020 is supposedly going to become a triangle state. So
Hmm.
Interesting. We don't have
7,
any votes, right?
8,
Yeah.
9.
I'm very concerned.
Look,
She's not being a monster anymore.
I'm coloring in my dots as opposed to just drawing lines through them, just so that Melissa won't be mad at me.
Math teachers love it. Elementary school teachers love it when you draw those straight lines.
It's because I have inherent math skills. That's what it is.
It is. Okay. Come on, Texas.
So we've got a 7 and an 8 and a 7 and a 6. So
So you got your 13 again. Texas is really where the whole fight's being.
Apparently Texas is the hot state.
Yeah.
I think we can get 14 twice.
Yep, I like that.
Now you just figured out another really great thing to do. When you can get a double, you can really like take Florida, right?
You're gonna take Florida?
Yep.
Yeah, on one roll. When you get a double,
That's my home state. They won my home state.
We got Florida. So you
Okay.
can check off Florida.
So you color the star of Florida,
And then we do however many.
and now you
yeah, the
have
double
to
roll is pretty.
29 little dots to make Melissa happy.
What are you
And they call that math like a.
I figured someone.
You really know your facts families when you can manipulate different numbers to create the same sum, and then kids really start looking for those same sums so that they can double up in one state, which you just did.
You're not even on my team.
I just want to mention that Rich just did what I did earlier and crossed the lines through all the dots.
He's trying to get on.
And now Melissa is going back and coloring them all in.
I
'cause-
work with monsters.
So in the classroom version, we call the person who colors the wall board the delegate.
Ah,
That's fun.
Okay.
So does that mean that there's like a giant version of this game in existence?
We had some produced, they sold out, but like when COVID hit, it was just going to be too much to produce them because it's a shared resource kind of thing. So the board game version obviously is selling a lot more.
Okay, so I have a 7 and a 4 and a 5 and a 6. So I could do 11 and 11. Is there something that I want? That
There
would
you
give me
go.
2 in
New York. That's one of the crown jewels of the Electoral College too.
That would not be bad. After you got Florida, I feel like I need to do something.
Yeah, there's a lot of parity with Florida and New York and Texas and not so much with
could
California.
get 13 and 9. I don't really like 9 all that much. 13 is Texas. Ooh, that's nice though.
Mm-mm. No, no.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do Texas.
There you
So I'm
go.
gonna do another one in Texas.
Trade off.
And I'm doing 9. I'm gonna do blue is taking Kentucky.
Nice.
Because blue,
Kentucky's a good little state. Good
yeah,
state.
you know, blue is gonna take Kentucky, and so I get 8.
Yeah. One roll, 8 electoral votes is really good.
Yeah, can you color me in Kentucky, please?
absolutely.
Kentucky has gone blue.
They're just colors today, Kathleen.
All
They're
right.
just colors.
Just colors.
If anybody out there is watching, if you have any questions for Jim, let us know. We'd be happy to ask him. I don't know if he can see the chat, but
11.
so Jim, tell us a little bit about your new game that just got kickstarted,
Yeah.
which is
And
Blobby.
we're like 600% funded. So Blobby's Pizza is a card game, a strategic card game where you try to eat your way to the highest bill by creating sets of full pizzas out of pizza fraction cards. But you've got all of these 7 different monsters that eat different fraction sizes that can steal pizza from other players when they place them on their table. And so there's a lot of kind of set making, and then there's a lot of take that kind of action. But there's a lot of fractions, from conceptual fractions to decimals that you have to fill out on your guess check to percentages that you have to figure out with the use of tax and tip cards. So really what I was trying to do is, after my oldest daughter and even my younger one now had kind of mastered essential math, like with the multiplication and the addition, they on an election night, they never really came to me for homework help. And then fractions came along, and then I was like, you know what? Now they're asking. I said, this is the next game. We got to do something with fractions. So I just tried to really make a fun game. I think when you were talking about election night being really educational, cross curriculum, I think the uniqueness of Blobby's Pizza is that it's really the only game out there that I know of that can teach conceptual fractions to decimals and then into percentages. And it does it in a real life way. Like you have to fill out a guest check at your pizza restaurant, Blobby's Pizza. He's the owner of the pizza joint. And the monsters got to eat their way to the highest bill. So you have a menu with decimals, because pepperoni pizzas cost more than cheese, and veggie costs more than pepperoni, and supreme costs the most. So you're always trying to use strategy to collect which cards you can make whole pizzas with, and then you have to create a guest check. Maybe at the end of the game you have 6 or 8 pizzas that you're kind of tallying up. And we have tax and tip cards that teach kids how to figure out basic percentages like 10%, 15%, 20, 25%. And that was something I saw in the SATs, ACTs a lot, like high school kids that weren't able to do basic back of the envelope percentage calculations, which is really essential, not only on that test, but in real life.
What do you want to take this?
So they're having a dilemma now. How many triangles do I have?
You are 1 away from winning Texas. We are 3
away from winning Texas.
So what happens a lot when you get to this point, Kathleen, for instance, that on any one roll, they could only get 2 more. So you could actually like put Texas on the back burner and almost take it for granted until they force you. So that's like kind of pushing your advantage. So like to get that what is kind of, it's not prohibitively, but it kind of is. But you wouldn't lose it on any one roll. If they got double 13s, you might want to you might start sweating under the collar a little bit. They could get and I've seen it happen where people do that, and then all of a sudden it's in play. But that is another game strategy that definitely comes into play here.
Oh, see, I feel like Jim's kind of on my team. I like that.
Well, we could do Florida. No, we already Florida.
You already have
already have
Florida.
Florida.
You got all of Florida. Look, y'all are winning. I don't understand what your problem is.
Where's Missouri? Oh, Missouri's 3.
Okay, choose your state.
Yeah.
I think we should start Pennsylvania and then something in 9. Maybe
Okay,
Michigan.
let's do that.
Okay.
Giving up on Texas.
They're giving up on Texas.
All right. So yeah, you get a
Don't
bonus
mess
roll.
with Texas.
Right.
That's what I said.
Now, if they roll a double 13 and you keep it in the icebox there, they're gonna probably rethink that.
Yeah.
No, we won't.
No.
No, us.
We
They
wouldn't
would
do it.
never do
Absolutely
that.
That's like the crazy overnight endorsement or something, like.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we got Pennsylvania. What else are we going?
Something in 9. We could start Michigan
You just
Or we
grab
could-
Connecticut
or where's Missouri?
Missouri. Missouri's the 3-1.
Missouri's 3. Let's grab Connecticut.
Yeah.
Do
They're
it.
taking Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Red takes Connecticut. I don't know about that.
So,
Oh no. Okay.
Thank you for not being a monster anymore.
I just had to get
Okay.
Are you having fun
Ooh,
with those
I have a
scores?
13.
Uh-huh.
And an 8. It's a 13 and an 8. And either way, because I got 3
Yeah, right.
4s. So no matter what I do, I have a 13 and 8. So it's whether or not I want to go ahead and win Texas now, or like you said, hold off on Texas and do something else.
Yeah, you could take Nevada, for instance,
I could take Nevada. Or I could start Georgia or Virginia.
16 for 2 is good. That's an average of 8 electoral votes per roll. Like to get.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start Georgia.
Got the Southern strategy.
And
going.
I am going to do my 8. I'm going to do Arkansas. And take Arkansas, which is 6. So then I'm going to go down here and do that.
All right.
Okay.
Your roll.
All right. I am not currently winning. Red is currently winning. We have we're filling in our electoral votes down here.
10 or an 8 and a 12.
I need to
Ooh,
work on
12.
California because I don't want them to get too far ahead on California. I
Yeah,
need
well,
to-
they just got another one in California, I think, and they really need California.
You
yeah.
do Illinois. You want to do 2 in Illinois?
Where's that?
Right there, next to Ohio, like in the middle. It's
Okay.
green. They're color coordinated.
They are indeed.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 That was easy.
I
I'm
feel
happy with
like we would all learn a lot about geography.
It's true.
playing this
My
game.
Midwest geography is just a treasure.
But I have, the other thing I did, and I really didn't do it on purpose, but Missouri and Michigan are in the same yellow state group on this version.
Oh,
And people have to learn like MI is Michigan, MO is Missouri, but that gets confused.
Sure.
okay. I have 2 9s, a 6, and an 8. So,
There's no 18, so you can't use the double 9s. And we did
Yeah.
that because that's a pretty rare roll, kind of like double 3s. So you're probably gonna use, your 17 and your 15 there.
okay, my 17 and my 15. So 17 and 15.
South Carolina's beautiful.
Ooh, I like South Carolina.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
definitely taking South Carolina.
Yeah, the small state strategist, the smaller state strategist realizes like the 9-vote electoral vote states like Colorado and South Carolina and Alabama, they're, you one roll, you get 9 votes. And then there's a couple that are 8 too, like your Kentucky that you noticed earlier when you swept that up. And Louisiana, like you did too. So you've got a very balanced strategy here.
Yeah, very balanced. Okay, I also did Arkansas last time. Okay, so now with my 15, I am not gonna let them take Pennsylvania without a fight.
Stop it.
Pennsylvania will be mine.
I've played at certain schools. You should hear the language of war that kids use. Like, we just conquered Florida. We just took over Washington. It's pretty fun. It's like they're playing.
That's really fun. I think kids would have a blast playing this game.
Yeah.
We should take
We
Alabama.
should take Alabama.
Let's take
You're
Alabama.
gonna take Alabama? No.
Bye, Alabama.
Ugh.
That's a good
Just
one.
like a red player taking Alabama.
Yeah, it's a good one.
13.
We want to give up.
Oh, I don't think, I didn't take my South Carolina one. I didn't do my 9.
Kathleen's cheating again.
The important thing is to remember to color in the colors of electoral.
And the
votes.
stars. It's like the stars are double accounting. And the dice do, if we do say the roll in the box top, like later in the game, especially, but kids have to learn, they're kind of like,
You went Georgia, don't you?
I kind of do.
really fine motor skills here, not to mess up their stuff.
Rich is trying to take Georgia from me.
Yeah, it's gonna go to the next roll.
We
Huh?
got 9 from Alabama, so we'll just roll those in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine.
Excellent state of dice.
Oh, I don't think I ever colored my Texas either. Oh, it's because I haven't won Texas.
We got
You're
Texas already.
cheating.
Don't worry about it.
She's cheating again.
Okay, I've got a 17 and an 8. I don't
Oh,
really
12 for
like.
California.
That's only North Carolina, so I don't want to do that. I
You got a
could
12.
I could have a 12, which would help me get some California over there. And then I would have a 13, which could make me take Georgia. Okay, so Georgia is now mine.
State.
And I'm gonna take
Sorry, Rich.
one
It's all
of California. Here, you want to color my California? I
Not
can't do it with my-
particularly.
I can't do it with my left hand. You also learn to be ambidextrous. Okay, so I got Georgia.
Mhm.
You want to color in Georgia over there?
No.
the start. And then I get 16 for Georgia.
You do.
Oh,
It's so funny. It looks like a 6 to me.
10, 15, 16.
There's a lot of things you can tell about a person after you look at the game board too. There's some kids like erase the other marks in the state and put it all one solid color.
No, Georgia won some red votes, but it's
Yeah.
mostly blue.
Do 14 or 11 or
So what? So how long
13.
did it take you to come up and play test Blobby's Pizza and stuff? Because I think that must have happened relatively recently. Because I don't remember you talking to me about it all that much, or me seeing
Well,
it.
it was COVID and stuff, but
that'll be fun.
it was probably, I mean, I came up with the concept pretty fast. What I had to do was get the card balance right, because as you see the card, it's like an asynchronous deck. It's like, we have a few big fraction cards,
On their last turn, they got a Texas and a California.
That's pretty good. 12, 13.
I don't like that. So now y'all need 2 for Texas and I need 1.
They could win Texas on a double 13 roll. So like you might start considering just taking it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna, if I can. Okay, I got lots of things here. Okay,
got
so I
7
can
or
get a
6. There
13,
you
which
go.
would get me a Georgia.
You already have
And,
Georgia.
I meant Texas. Texas. And I can get another 13? Is that right?
8 and 5, yeah. That's actually the hardest 2 digits for people to remember. 8 plus 5, 13. So you can
Yeah.
take Georgia and Texas on one roll. That's
I
outstanding.
already took Georgia though. So I
Oh,
could
right.
start Virginia, or I could do Nevada and get just straight up 6 points.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take Texas because I'm nervous about Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm taking Texas, and then I am going to start with Virginia.
Yeah.
So I get 38.
That is correct.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And there's lots of, even if you play with kids that aren't old enough to play this, it's a very aspirational game where they'll try to do something. So like you could have a younger kid playing and they could, maybe do the tallying if they're not doing,
Yep. Yep.
So it's a good family game or multi-age group, cooperative game.
Did y'all win it?
Not yet.
You only need 1 more?
We need 1 more to get California.
They need 1 more to get California.
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
not good.
What's the best?
For Michigan.
Sure.
55. Best utility value 2. 5 rolls for 55 votes is like 11 per average, which is better than anything else on the board.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Okay, what do I need now?
13.
Florida is gone.
It's right there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't care about Florida anymore.
I think we are recording this.
New York's more important for you now, probably.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna work on New York. Let's see if I can get anything in New York. I can get a New York, and then I can get an Arizona. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do New York and Arizona. The people in Arizona love me.
1/3 of them do.
Yes, that's
Maybe.
true. Maybe.
Uh-huh.
We're unsure.
1/3 of them absolutely love me.
Polls haven't closed yet, Kathleen.
Huh?
The polls haven't closed yet.
It's true. All right. So we've got Let's see. What's 7 plus 5?
Oh no.
Or
No.
12?
Oh.
Might be.
I
Oh
think that's
dear.
all.
Oh dear.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Go
that was
ahead,
really
take
good.
California. I don't
California.
care.
Well, we don't need it right yet.
We're taking it. Yes.
What? She needs to roll 4.
All right. All right.
So they're doing what I did with
Yeah, that's
Texas.
right. That's right.
Uh-huh.
16.
Would be really funny if you waited to the end and then we just fought over California at the very end, kind of like what happens normally.
Yeah.
It's very early in California.
There's an oddity of the multiplication game where you have to use your 8s in California and Texas, 6 times 8, 7 times 8. And Florida is actually 64, 8 times 8. So what happens of the 3 states, a lot of the times in the
Yes, you're right.
multiplication
I like
version,
that.
Florida decides it at the end.
Mm.
Which happens in real life, which we just
Really
kind of made
life.
mathematically too.
What did you do?
Virginia?
Or Nevada. I think it's 6.
Oh, I took Texas.
And then Kathleen took
Oh, we
Nevada.
should do that. Yeah.
I keep forgetting to color in my stars.
Yeah, you want to do that.
Well, a scandal.
There's a hanging Chad.
Yeah, there's a smudged star.
I think so.
Yeah. We'll just grab it.
Thanks, Nevada.
They're taking Nevada.
All the fun stuff is there.
Uh,
Wait, go eat dots.
Oh, that's right. We should probably count this.
Fun. Kathleen's winning right now.
She is.
no, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm not. Okay, so I got 8, 6, 5, and 5. So that could be an 11 and a 13. An 11 and a 13. Ooh, my New York. That would be nice. Ooh, I could win New York. Aha.
There you go.
And 13, I could win Virginia. I think that would be a good play, right?
New York and Virginia, that's a good haul.
Yeah,
Good haul.
so New York and Virginia have become blue. Can you color in New York and Virginia, please?
Absolutely.
And then tell me how many electoral votes I got.
New York is going to give you 29,
29.
and Virginia will give you 13.
Woo, 29 and 13. Okay.
Kathleen is still winning. We need California.
And then 29, you said.
Uh-huh.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 29. Done. They're gonna get California, but so
Yeah,
far I'm
it-
doing
it-
pretty well.
It
Yeah,
looks
not
it's
California.
deceiving right now. Your lead is deceiving. Because-
I'm leading early, but California has yet to be decided, and it's not looking good for blue.
Another 12. We could go somewhere else in the 12 lands.
Ooh,
And a 14. What else might work?
what's in 14?
Arizona and Indiana,
What do we get for Indiana?
the same as Arizona, 11.
Ooh, yeah.
But we can't get that on Moran.
Oh no. Hmm.
Where else in 12 can we go? What's the? Oh, let's just grab Mississippi because it's worth 6.
Yeah, good idea.
Mississippi for 6 seems good.
And then,
Okay.
so that's our 12.
Yep.
And then our 14.
Over there.
You were talking about Indiana,
It's true.
or you could fight me for Arizona.
We could.
We could do that. Do we want
Uh,
to fight or we want to take a short time?
Let's. Why not? Why not to go here?
Yeah.
Although if she gets doubles, then she can just take it from us.
That's
So
true.
it doesn't really.
But she hasn't started it.
That's true. Okay. So we've not taken that yet, but I really want to bubble.
But we
it
have
in.
taken that.
We did take
But you took Mississippi.
Mississippi, which is 6.
Yep.
2, 3.
You didn't already color it in?
No.
Okay. These dice feel good too. They're nice and chunky dice.
Yeah,
Um,
25 millimeter.
okay, so I have an 11 and a 12, or a 13 and a 10. 11 and a 12. what is 11? North Carolina is a possible 11. 12, I could try and go after California, but they're just going to color it in. 12 it seems to be a pretty easy number to hit. Isn't that right in the middle of your
It is.
bell curve?
Yeah, yeah. It gets the game moving pretty quick. And 13 is not so, uncommon too. But 12 on these dice, 12 is like a 7 on 2 cubes. So right in the middle.
Yeah, but I definitely don't want a 13 because pretty much everything is gone in 13.
Yeah.
And 10 could be Illinois, but they've started. Ooh, y'all have got started on Illinois. I don't like that. But I think I like North Carolina. I'm gonna go for North Carolina. And then I have, so that was my 11, and then I have 12. I'm gonna go for New Jersey.
You
Mm.
can have New Jersey.
Mm.
Okay. Got another 14.
14, 9.
9, maybe?
We could do
So
another Michigan
Jim,
and get
what are your
Michigan.
other really
That's true.
have you tried other games about civics and voting and electoral votes and things like that? Do you have any others that you really like?
And
Well, I don't want to tip my hand, but there's that decided like political element to most of them, which kind of limits who you can play them with. So, right? I mean, there's some that are kind of like fine, but I'm told that I don't know if it's in print anymore. But did you know about 1960, which gives the the historical
Making of
kind
a
of Nixon
president.
Kennedy race? That's kind of cool because it's got that whole like, it's alternate history, obviously the result, but it uses the history of that campaign in the game. So that's a cool one.
Yeah, that's a fantastic
Yeah,
game.
I
That's
just saw it.
designed by local game designer Jason Matthews and Christian Leonard, the same
Yeah.
people. I think it was, or maybe it was Ananda. I don't remember whether it was Christian or Ananda, but
I think it was Christian. I
Christian.
don't think it was Ananda.
Yeah, because it was the same. Who did he do Twilight Struggle
He
with?
did Ananda with
Ananda.
Twilight Struggle.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. But 1960 is a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you do? What
Nothing.
horrible thing did
Nothing.
you do? You
didn't
did
do
we
something.
didn't do anything.
What'd you do?
Nothing. We filled in some dots.
We
You
took
got Michigan?
Yep.
Oh man. Oh, they got Michigan. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Ooh, there's a 16 and a 7. Kansas could be mine. Where's Kansas? Just kidding, just kidding. Wisconsin.
So mean. I don't know what I've done to
Oklahoma.
deserve this.
Aw. Oh, but I could have an 11 and a 12 again. Huh. I like 11 and 12 because that would give me North Carolina and New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm closing up North Carolina and New Jersey.
Going after these triangle states.
Yeah. So I got New Jersey and I got North Carolina.
Okay.
And how many electoral votes is North Carolina?
That one is 15.
15 and 14. So I got 29.
Problems with
Okay.
We are in trouble.
That's 9, 5,
It doesn't really look like you have Texas. though.
10,
Yeah, that's true.
15,
Some of the dry erase marker has kind
20.
of faded off.
My kids asked me if we were going to be famous for developing this game. I said, not likely. What's your favorite game? And one of my daughters said Spotted. She's like, well, do you know who created that? So we probably won't. But I did say, we'll know when we're famous with election night if on the real election night, political commentators start referring to their states by their shape. Like, oh, he just picked up another triangle state. That's, that might be down the line 20 years. But like when if a whole generation plays it and starts referring to that, then that's had real impact, right?
So annoying.
Yeah. I like that. Let's do that.
Come on, field Illinois.
And
Oh no, they got Illinois. Oh no.
Oh, that's tough. That's
Kansas.
Kansas, yeah.
20.
Plus Kansas.
And they got Kansas. They can't find it on a map, but
Right
they
there.
got it.
It's right there.
Uh-huh.
Not gonna have in the middle.
Oh,
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
I'm sorry,
but well, we only have about 7 more minutes. Do we just declare me a winner?
Ooh, no, we play for 7 more minutes.
Well,
What is this?
polls
Okay.
haven't closed in California.
So we
Uh-huh.
still have Ohio, right? Like Ohio, no
No
one's
one has
no one's
touched
going for
Ohio,
Ohio.
Okay, let's see. Ohio is a 12. And I have 14 and 8. Arizona. Ooh, Arizona could be mine. An 8. What's an 8?
North
8?
Dakota.
Oh, North Dakota. I don't like that at all. So I have 2 11s.
What does she have against North Dakota?
I don't know.
2 11s.
Hear
What
that,
did I
North
get?
Dakota?
Washington.
She doesn't like you.
Yeah.
You just take Washington on one
Lose.
roll.
I
Like
could
in
take
the heartland.
Washington. I'm taking Washington, please. Washington State.
Doubling up.
12.
They believe that I can help with the fires.
You promised it.
Yeah, and then I get 12.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's time for California.
I don't know. Can get California. So we've got
10 and 10. Or
11 and 9. Or yeah, 10 and 10. 2 10s could be good.
Yeah, when California comes off the board, this game's gonna get it's
2 10s, you get Tennessee.
It's true.
yep, do that.
2 10s for Tennessee.
How many do we get?
We get 11.
I'm a little bit worried that I haven't counted my points correctly.
Well, there is that, but with the double accounting on this, you could go back and
I know, I was thinking about that.
I think you may have
Cheated?
yeah.
No, I think I might have forgotten 5 of them.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
It could happen. Okay, I've got a 14 and a 10. Where is
You
North
got a 12
Carolina?
too, right?
Is
What's your?
11.
I don't see your other die.
Oh, it's over there. I have a 9. I have a 14 and a 10
You
or
have 2 12s. You have 2 12s. Put the heat on in
I
California.
do have 2 12s.
Whoop, dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Or I could have a very good start
That
in
could make things
Ohio.
really interesting. They basically have to. Because what do you have? So you have 1 in California now.
Yeah, I have 1 in California.
But I'll tell you, that's the go for broke. Because if they don't roll a 12 and you roll a 12 on the next one, it's pretty much game over.
2, 3, 4, 5. But they would only need 1 12.
Yeah, that's right. But they might not get it, and they've taken it for
Okay,
granted.
I'll do it. Let's go for California.
Well, push your luck.
Okay, I'm pushing my luck. This is the exciting
all in.
finale.
Do they
No
get it?
12s, no 12s.
Hmm.
No.
No 12s.
Oh wow.
All right.
This
So
is
we've got
good. This is good.
2 9s.
You get Missouri.
That's true. Yeah, we could get Missouri, or we could do a 10
Mhm.
and a 8.
For North Dakota.
For North
I think
Dakota.
you should do that.
What could the 10 get us?
Missouri.
No.
You couldn't get all of Missouri. Oh no.
I mean, it could get us a
Missouri.
chunk of Maryland.
Don't care about Maryland.
Okay. All right. Yeah, 2 9s it is. And we'll pick up
Missouri.
Missouri. All right.
Missouri.
So I'll tell you what happens. We have a version of this game where you can play to the projected winner version for the first to 200. I would say, like, if you're playing this at home, if you roll a 12 right now, that the other team would probably, concede the election. But they might not. You don't have to. I've
Come
done it
on,
before.
12s.
Take it to the Supreme Court.
Seriously.
You got it. What? Is
I
that
didn't get a
75?
12 either.
What? Oh, I thought that 8 was a 5. Sorry.
No,
No.
no 12 for me either. So I got a
That's
10 and 11.
This is nail biting now.
Um, you took my pen.
Yeah, you can use this one.
10 and 11.
Utah still there?
Alaska. Alaska's great. I hear it's very nice in the summer. You could take a vacation, Kathleen. You could go by yourself.
Uh-huh.
In the,
I'm gonna take Utah and Nebraska, please. Utah. Oops, that was really bad. And Nebraska.
and they say, I was gonna say it earlier, but the teachers really like the tactile element that you actually have to touch the state with a marker in this game. Very tactile.
Can
It's
you
true, yeah.
color in Nebraska over there?
Absolutely.
All right, these guys are really jonesing
Okay,
for
so I
it.
got
We're down to
11.
12 now.
All right.
Oh, there's a 12.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh
there you
no!
There's actually
They
two
took
Very
those.
well.
Oh,
We got
Almost.
we could, if we wanted to, go somewhere else with those two 12s.
you could.
No,
No,
we'll take California and then should
Yeah.
we go to Ohio?
But you
Okay.
see how that game would
We'll
end it
for a
really
couple.
quickly, and now it'll get dragged out a little bit. But
Yeah, now they got California. That's not good.
hold on 1 second here.
23. 23.
Yep. 53.
55. There we go.
I'm happier.
Oh, and I got a 12.
Oh no!
Oh.
That's a shame.
Oh.
We should have, because if we had held off one turn, she could have put that last 12 on there.
Yep. See.
That's true. Then we both would have been one away.
That's true.
I am going to go into Ohio. Ooh, what's Pennsylvania? Where is
Sorry
Pennsylvania?
about that.
Seriously?
Pennsylvania's 15.
Was not
I
gonna
can't get a 15. Yeah, I need to take Pennsylvania away from you. But I'm
You
going
don't have
to
the
do
numbers to do Pennsylvania. right now.
Ohio and 9. Hawaii. Where's Hawaii? Hawaii is down here. And I get 4. Can you color in Hawaii for me?
Sure.
And I get 4. I'm still concerned that my numbers aren't very right. That's okay. I have 15 and 6 is 21 and 14 is
Oh, that's a 15. We can
35.
take
Yeah.
35 and 8.
Pennsylvania.
is
Do it,
33.
Pennsylvania.
So that's another 20.
Yep.
4 is 12. 24, 29, 29 and 29 is,
And then 8. I'll figure out for 8. What's over there?
I don't know.
I guess
but-
what is that? On the right bottom for 8.
Oh, North Dakota.
North Dakota it is.
All right.
Thank you, North Dakota. We appreciate your support.
There's nobody in North Dakota.
There is. They get votes.
3. I guess.
Hmm.
There's more cows than people, I think. The cows don't get votes.
Okay, I need to get really serious here. I need some
They get the
serious
same
stuff.
amount of electoral votes as we
Okay. Okay, so I could do 8, but there's nothing in 8, so I'm not gonna do 8.
Oh.
So I can get 12 and 10. 12 and 10 seems like
Mississippi still.
I am gonna go for Maryland and Ohio. Is that 12?
It is.
Yes, okay, Ohio.
We're in trouble in Ohio.
It's true.
Yeah, Ohioans love me. My cousin lives in Hawaii. She loves me.
Okay, so we got a 12 and a 10. What we got?
I think we should take Ohio.
Ooh,
12.
but we don't. If she
You have
hits a
one,
12, then we will have wasted it.
That's true.
Do that. Do that.
So 10 gets us to.
Man, I wish I could have stolen California. That would have made for a
That
great
would have
game.
ended, the game would be over right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
13
It's just
gets
Maine.
us Maine. We'll take. Well, why don't we go a little higher?
Yeah.
Then maybe she won't get a 12.
Yep.
Um,
And
Sometimes
then
it happens here. You drag
Oh,
it
the
out,
bottom
so
is
like
in 10.
it really comes down to like South Dakota or something at the end. You know.
oh, Vermont.
yeah, we'll
Yeah,
take
Vermont.
I like Vermont.
I do too.
Ice cream comes from there. Add up the points.
What?
Ben and
Ice
Jerry's-
cream?
Ben and Jerry's is in Vermont.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
Mhm.
Any state that makes ice cream can't be that bad.
Hmm.
Very cold.
Cheese, they have good
Mhm.
cheese too.
Oh, I was trying to add up my points again. Hold on.
I can roll for you.
That's a good idea.
Here, why don't you add up my points
Sure,
while I
sure.
roll? I'm having a hard time on that side. This side I have 43.
Okay.
Okay, I got 16 and an 11 or a 15 and a 12. Ooh, a 12. Ohio is mine.
Nice.
Woohoo!
18.
Ohio is 18. So 3, 5, and then 10. And then I got 16. Oklahoma?
or
The OK state. Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Nobody has taken Wisconsin yet. But Oklahoma seems better because I get 7 for one roll.
That's right.
Okay, so 5, 6, 7. Uh-oh, we're tied up like neck and neck.
This is a really tight
That's
game.
something you have.
That's how many I have on that side. Plus 43
So we don't want 10.
plus 7. I should be at 199. No,
So we
that
can get
couldn't
Alaska?
possibly be right.
And Kansas. Or did we already take Kansas?
Kansas was
We already
already
took
taken.
Kansas, I think.
Oh yeah, we didn't bubble that.
So we get Rhode Island and Maine.
Nice. You're going for the New England states. You got Vermont too. And
All right. So Rhode Island and
Maine. And 8.
You remember what the number was over there?
143, I thought.
Plus 4,
so how much did we get to?
Plus
8.
9 plus 15 plus 12 plus, what is that, 5 plus 38 plus 16 plus 13.
Hmm.
Kathleen has not been bubbling
Plus-
correctly.
No, yeah.
No, I'm at 288, I think.
I think you won, Kathleen.
I think I won.
Okay, so you were probably narrating. You forgot to count some.
Yeah, do you want to add them?
Sure.
Yeah, here, you can add them real fast. But I think I won.
All right.
Did you do
Sometimes
enough?
you have to do that.
No,
But
I think we were pretty good though.
yeah,
right?
but you can see how like there's a few pivotal points during the game, and then there's like real meaningful choices. There's elements of luck and strategy, but really it's just a great learning game that if you think about a kid who's trying to go through addition flashcards, it's just so much easier to give them this game, play it, sit down after dinner and play it, and you never have to have that flashcard battle. And these combinations will create meaning. My kids already, 12 and 13, all those fact families, they know the states that are in there. It's just great. So
Yeah, no, I think it's really fantastic.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I appreciate you designing it. And
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight too.
all
I
right,
think
don't forget
that-
the
I mean, there's
multiplication
very
version
few-
too. That's even the more holy grail to learn your times tables. But I really enjoyed playing with you guys or watching.
Yeah. Thank you for teaching us and for helping us out and everything. I think that some of the interesting parts of this, obviously, like I said, is the multi curriculum based, like really crossing subject matter areas and learning. But I really also, oh,
Did
I'm
not
only at
win.
217.
I'm willing to concede defeat.
Okay.
We'll make our concession speech.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I don't know what I did.
There is a version of the game, as you see in the rule book. Like if you don't have as much time, you can play the projected winner version that is the first to 200. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We're both close. We'll call it a tie.
Very
We'll let,
good.
Oh, that's so gracious.
Let Congress decide.
we'll let who decides?
Wait, you're just doing that.
Congress, yeah. It's actually kind of funny. There's a little factoid in there in the directions. If there was a tie in the Electoral College, which there can be between two candidates, 269 to 269. If that happens, the House of Representatives would basically the delegates would choose the president, and the Senate would choose the vice president. So, if you have a split House of Congress, you can imagine what that would look like. But that would happen in the old days, and it didn't really matter. But, today we've forgotten that that's a potential reality.
Huh, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, thanks, Annalise. Annalisa, we appreciate it. And I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to Blobby's Pizza. As I said, we tried it the other day, and I was very bad at adding fractions. It was really ugly. So I apparently need some math help, and I'm glad that I can do it by games because it's way more fun.
Yeah.
Next week, what are we doing?
Next week, I think we're doing some more like art-based games, like art and design and sort of like graphical games.
Okay, art and graphical,
Like left brain games.
Arty type games next week. I hope y'all will join us. Again, this is Labyrinth Games and Puzzles in Washington, D.C. If you would like to buy election night or pre-order Blobby's Pizza, just give us a call or shop online. It's store.labyrinthgameshop.com. And all of our videos in the past and in the future will be on Twitch for about a week, and then we're moving them over to our YouTube channel, so you can find us on YouTube, and we're posting them there for perpetuity. And so you can go back and look at the other videos that we've done. And thanks so much. Bye, everybody.